I am very excited right now because I've got none other than Mike Daniels with me, defensive lineman, going into his now second year with the Cincinnati Bengals. I want to get in a little bit of some discussion about anime, comic books. I know it's a passion of yours, but thank you for joining. I'm so glad to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Can we nerd out a bit? Can we do that? Talk about a little bit of anime? Is that cool?
I'm ready to nerd out anytime, man. I have a switch. Turn on whatever moment. Right after a play, I'm talking to opponents sometimes. Hey, you see the new episode of this? I instantly go from killer mode to anime mode. Yeah, let's talk about it, right? I am a nerd. That's just what I do. It's what I do. So it's a way of life. I was born this way. Like Bane said, man, some people have adopted darkness. I was born into it. I was born into this nerdiness, all right?
I love it. Yeah, look, that was why I was so excited. I was like, one thing I love about Mike Daniels, like I love watching this guy play, but at least in the sports world, I feel like you're just one of those people who's getting out there and like, have you seen this show? Have you checked out this anime? And I don't know, it's so unique to me, and I really appreciate watching it. So I was excited to kind of talk with you about that because for me, I only recently got into anime. When I say recently, it was like over the last year or so. And I'm excited now learning all these things. And the community has been the biggest takeaway for me. The community of fans and anime, I was shocked at how engaging they are and really kind of supportive. Like I'm clueless about this stuff. And they're like, hey man, let me help you out. Let me explain some things. I don't know if you've noticed that as well.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm definitely excited to bridge the gap between the anime world and the NFL world. My two biggest passions, right? And to be able to link those two together, to bring them together, to bring the different fan bases. I have anime fans watching football. I have football fans watching anime. That was my intention, right? To bring everybody together through that.
Give me some insight. How are you bridging the gap? Tell me about it a little bit. Because to me, I feel as though people that are huge anime fans that I know in my personal life, they don't want anything to do with football. But people that are really into football in my personal life, they don't want anything to do with anime.
So
how do we make this happen?
I'm going to cut you off right now, right? We got to do something together. You just stepped into this world, man.
Right.
We got to do something together, man.
I've got that.
You listen. We want to get some stuff done. We want to really show what it's all about. Let's give you the leg up on this NFL anime thing out of all the journalists, man. Come on, let's do it. Me and you, what's up?
I'm happy to be a spokesperson, especially as someone coming from the outside in. Only recently, I've got the track.
Hey, I need you to commit. I need you to commit right now.
Let me. Yes, I appreciate and love both communities. I want to bridge. I'm going to be a part of this. How do I do? How do I do it though?
Hey, look, man. As long as you committed, we can iron out the details later, man. I just needed the commitment. We can work on that after the interview. Let's get back to it.
What would be that go-to sort of sample, that go-to sort of thing that you would tell somebody, you watch this and that is anime? And I know that's hard to pigeonhole, but what would be your go-to example?
Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because the one thing with anime people can't get over the fact is that I'm watching a cartoon, right?
Right.
It's wacky. It's this and that, right? When you watch Cowboy Bebop, as my wife said, I forgot that I was watching the animated program.
The story just wraps you in.
But it's a space drama, man. It's unlike any other medium, right? Or any other let's say form of fiction that I've encountered. It's within its. I mean, it did for space what Walking Dead did for zombies, man. Made you forget you're watching a show about the zombie apocalypse. So Cowboy Bebop's gonna make you forget you're watching anime, and then you're gonna say to yourself, "Wow, I know this ain't the only one like that," and you'll be right. There's plenty of shows like that. But Cowboy Bebop, that's the introduction to anime I'll give to anybody who's never watched it.
Perfect.
You'll thank me later. Trust me.
Mike Daniels says Cowboy Bebop. You're not sure how you feel about anime. Jump on that. And it sounds like he's going to be right. I trust him. So you should too. My gateway into the series was Attack on Titan, as far as the television shows go. Okay. And I'm going to be starting season 3 here shortly, but I just got through the first 2 seasons. And switching between dubbed and sub, people have debates about that one as well. And I've got my opinion on them, but okay, we don't need my life story. But
when anime first started really becoming popular, there was a lot of changing in the scripts because they were bringing anime and then try to make it more like Western cartoons and trying to minimize, with a lot of censorship, minimize the blood, death, anything that seemed like it was adult or real life content. And there was a lot of changes in the script so that it would be more family friendly. So key plot points would be missed, whole characters would be changed. It just was horrible, unfortunately, in a lot of ways. So that's where the sub versus dub came in. People said, hey, do you like the dub, which is like a completely different show, or do you like the sub, which is the show that the author, the creator intended, right? With the story that the creator intended for you to follow.
Right.
You see, it's like having Star Wars and then making Darth Vader not Luke's father, right? Or having that line changed. That's the type of stuff that was happening in anime all the time. So that's why dub versus sub became such a huge debate. But nowadays, dubs are like, they're perfect. So much so that the voice actors basically sound almost identical to their Japanese counterparts, right? Whereas before, they'd give a very unfitting voice to a lot of characters. You'll lose complete plot points, man. It was different back in the day, but now the sub versus dub thing, it's almost like, do you want to read or not? Because that's really the only difference now. So the dubs are amazing. But Attack on Titan, what do you think about it?
Attack on Titan?
My bag now. I just wanted to ask you about Attack on Titan. So you saw it. I need your opinion.
Yeah. So of course, it was my first anime series, right? I just started watching a couple of like Studio Ghibli films, and I was kind of getting in. I mean, I grew up, I wanted to be an animator as a kid, so I'm always drawn by art and things like that. Okay. It's just the thing that kept me away from anime is, for lack of a better way of putting it, was I couldn't relate to some of it was kind of the dub. I feel like, I don't know, the acting in it, the voice acting, it was just all everything was so exaggerated, and I couldn't connect with that from seeing it in pieces, right? So I started watching Attack on Titan, and I was like, wait a minute, like I grew up reading comic books, like I understand sort of the beats of things, and it almost felt like it's like kind of Game of Thrones, like there's a lot going on here, but you've got this threat of these giant titans coming in, and all the world building was what fascinated me. So I was pretty hooked on that piece, especially. It was the world building. And over time, of course, the characters got better and better. So again, starting now, season 3, I'm excited to do that. And that's been kind of my little, I chip away at it over time. I burned through season 1, and then season 2, I was kind of taking my time with. But that's been my focal point with the series. And then I'm trying to get into the films a little bit, because I can just complete the stories quicker that way with everything else I got going on.
Absolutely. You picked a very good series to jump into, man. And that would have been my second or third one for you to subscribe to after Cowboy Bebop, because there's so many other elements to it that you almost forget about the Titans, right? You almost forget about the giant man-eating giants.
It's kind of like Walking Dead, you mentioned, where like the whole point is people being the enemy half the time, to the point where the zombies are almost peripheral. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You start off the show, you're scared to see a zombie, happy to see a human. By like season 4 of Walking Dead, you're scared to see a human, happy to see a zombie. Yes. That's basically what Attack on Titan became. The Titans, they're not afraid anymore, worried about the corrupt humans.
Yep. And that is prime comic book stuff that I grew up on. And I was like, man, I read this, I consume this all the time. I'm just now figuring out that I should be consuming anime. So yes, it's been a fun journey just getting into that world. And again, comments and stuff online, people that are big fans. No one, as you're trying to figure things out, one of my friends, he's a big, huge, massive anime fan. He's the one that's been kind of ushering me through this process. And like him and his friends, everybody's like, cool, you don't understand it? I understand that you don't. Like, let me help you through this. Like, everybody's just so nice about it. So,
well, we're always willing to recruit. We're recruiting every day. I've had a few teammates, 3 different locker rooms, 4, 5, including high school, come up to me and say, hey man, I started this new anime, or I started watching anime and I didn't know it was so cool, or the animation was dope, or like it just was crazy, the effects, the lights. So we're always recruiting. So we have welcome arms to any and everybody. So when you meet anime fans and you're saying, hey, I want to know about it, I'm getting into it, they'll be more than happy to usher you in. Trust me. And when you get deep into it, you don't have to get deep into it. You'll start doing the same thing, because you'll want to share the experience with other people.
100%. I'm already kind of feeling that, to be honest. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It wasn't a huge part for me though. I grew up watching martial arts films too, so I mean, like the dub sub thing. I kind of understood it at least.
Oh yeah, Marshall. Look, my whole training with my coach Jay at TBR, man. Our whole philosophy is based off of like Master Ip and many other forms of martial arts, and and we do heavy bands that's supposed to simulate like the weighted gravity room of Dragon Ball Z. My Dragon Ball fans know what I'm talking about. When you meet anime fans and you're saying, "Hey, I want to know about it. I'm getting into it," they'll be more than happy to usher you in. Trust me. And when you get deep into it, you don't even have to get deep into it. You'll start doing the same thing because you'll want to share the experience with other people.
100%. I'm already kind of feeling that, to be honest. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It wasn't a huge part for me though. I grew up watching martial arts films too, so I mean, like the dub sub thing. I kind of understood it at least.
Oh yeah, Marshall. Look, my whole training with my coach Jay at TBR, man. Our whole philosophy is based off of like Master Ip and many other forms of martial arts. We do heavy bands that's supposed to simulate like the weighted gravity room of Dragon Ball Z. My Dragon Ball fans know what I'm talking about. A lot of my training has been inspired by anime and martial arts.
And thought about the martial arts take for you and your potential fandom for that. And that's awesome. Yeah, I love just Jackie Chan as a kid. Like as soon as I saw, I actually, first time I ever saw anything was Rumble in the Bronx. I remember paying for it. You'd actually like pay for a movie in a hotel room. And like, I watched that movie and I was like, and my dad turned to me and goes, "This guy did everything without wires, nothing. Like he did this all himself." And I just looked at that stunned. And I went back and watched everything I could find from that point on. And so it was so great.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of great things to get from that.
You're a big Dragon Ball Z fan. If Joe Burrow was a character in Dragon Ball Z, and I'm not going to understand this reference, but I want it out there, what character would he be?
Oh man, who would Joe Burrow be? I'd say he'd be Team Gohan, right? From the Cell games. Everybody's speaking about his hidden potential, how great he's going to be, how good he's going to be. And one bastard pissed him off so bad, they pushed his buttons and made him unleash that beast, and he was merciless to the point that he was like, "Yo, chill out." Joe Burrow, same thing. Hey, what's he going to do? He's got all the ability, this, that, this, and that. And that beast was the injury he got. Oh, boy. We're going to be trying to tell him to chill out a little bit this year. I'm not, because I'm going to love to see it, but it might get a little ugly. He going Super Saiyan 2 on him. Super Saiyan grade 5 for my real Dragon Ball nerds, but you know what I mean, Super Saiyan 2.
You hear that story Mike Daniels just told. Like if you do not get engrossed in that, if you did, you need to be checking out anime, it sounds like, because I was waiting for the next part of this story, man. That was great. So thank you so much. It's just fun to chat with you. And I really look forward to seeing what you're going to do this year, because I know it's gonna be great stuff, man. Oh yeah, no doubt, man. Like I said, well, we'll be talking again. Like I said, you committed. So we're gonna talk again. We got some anime things to do out here, for the people. Absolutely. I'm here. Let's do it.
Awesome. Well, yo, thanks for having me, man. I had a really good time as always, man. And definitely looking forward to the next time we get in front of other people, because we got some stuff behind the scenes to take care of. The next time we get in front of other people, man, I'm really looking forward to that.
That's right, man. Let's get the conventions booked. Let's go.
Absolutely.